Now I'd like to move it on to Larry and get some perspective on what he's been doing in terms of leveraging his financial resources and again, some success stories out of the Tom Green Library. Larry?
Thank you. Tom Green County Library, if y'all aren't familiar with it, it's a county library located in San Angelo, Texas. It's a population of 100 to 110,000. We have Angelo State University there, so we have quite a number of students in town at a given time. A few years ago, it's actually a number of years ago now, a mayor in our community put together a summit such as this to talk about access in San Angelo. The committee met regularly for 2 years. I don't think anything ever came out of the committee other than, how this happens normally. Lots of meetings, lots of discussions, nothing came out of it. One day I missed a meeting. I think the judge had appointed me to represent the county, and I missed a meeting, and as so often happens, when you miss a meeting, you're now in charge of the group. So what we did do, what happened at that point in time, though, is the TIF funds became available, and we decided to go the route of TIF funds and do some things. Not the whole group wanted to go the same way, but we had a consensus, and we began utilizing TIF funds. Now, I say this because this, again, is an example of relationships and where things will get you in partnerships. You don't have to lead the group. You can just be in the group. But if you can lead the group, you're even that much better off in stepping out. We did apply for a TIF CN grant at that time and received it. And I'll tell you a little bit more about that as we move on. Our library has always played a major role in the community in providing access to information in a variety of ways. As was mentioned earlier, we're in the process now of building of a $16.5 million central library project in downtown San Angelo. We have raised right under $16.5 million of that, all privately, with completely private funds. So I think that in itself speaks for the support that we have in the community for the library. You all know, particularly the librarians here, the people who are coming into your libraries looking for access to information. Federal, local, state governments are sending people. Their services are online now. Job applications are online. People have to do job testing online. And it is the only way to do that job testing. An example of that was last week. I had a fellow probably in his 40s came in, had to do a test for his job, had never touched a computer in his life. He didn't know how to get on. He didn't know how to use the mouse, anything. So the library not only provides this access point, but we also provide the training to give individuals the access they need in these situations. TIF proved many times, I think very well, that libraries are the most natural point for community access. That is where the people congregate. That's where the training can take place. So if that is the case, and most of the libraries here have either their parent organization is probably a city or a county government, I think one of the best opportunities for partnership is your own parent agency. And that's what we have done over the years. Instead of trying to go out separately to get our own access, we tried to aggregate these services to an economy of scale to make it a value to the entire county. A lot of people can go out, a lot of organizations can go out and buy a bigger pipeline of data than one organization can do in itself, in most cases. We began in library in Tom Green County with a dial-up connection, as many of y'all probably started years ago. We grew to a T1 connection. We grew to dual T1 connection, sharing with the county. We now, as of a little over a year ago, have a DS3 connection, which is the equivalent of about 28 T1s. The cost for that, we thought, how are we going to ever be able to afford to do that? Well, we had been monitoring internet usage within the county for some time. We have over 800 employees in Tom Green County, many of those hooked to the internet for their office duties. In monitoring the usage, the library was utilizing 75 to 80% of all of the bandwidth for the county. Now, there's a reason for that. And that reason is that we don't allow county employees to download music. They can't be watching videos. They're supposed to be doing things that are relative to the job. Our users, we have no limits on. They can do anything that they want in searching, legally anything that they want. So what has happened, we took this whole cost for the DS3 and figured 75% of that is library use. So that number should be relegated to us. We then applied for E-rate, which I recommend everybody do. There'll be some more discussions on that as we move along. We receive an 80% discount on E-rate. So we're paying 20% of the 75% of this cost for the DS3. This brought the entire cost down for the county to really a very manageable amount. We also had a discussion with our adult probation department. They decided to come on board, and they brought money to the pot, and so now we are all using that same DS3 line, and we're all using it. We all have plenty of access now, and it's on a shared basis. This one point I need to make, this not only helps with the cost, but the sustainability. Down the road, when everybody is using this and that cost is shared out, it becomes very sustainable.